Dear Venerable and the Dhamma friends, today also we are going to start another question and answer session. Today, for a change, I would like to invite our Sudhu Amaduru and Dhamma Sumita to read questions. Okay?
Pardon my ignorance, but what does Sukhi Hontu mean? Much metta.
May you be healthy, wealthy and happy. Of course, Sukhi Hontu is only two words. Sukhi Hontu means may you be happy. May you be happy. But in Sinhala, when we are translating, we used to say, may you be healthy and happy. But the word meaning is, may you be happy.
Dear Bhante, yesterday you explained to us how to look at a question and find the solution. Also, you clarified and explained in very simple way most of the problems yogis encounter during meditation. Not to be over-enthusiastic, be calm and be mindful. At different stages, how to go to the next step without having doubts. We feel all the yogis are following your instructions and with your guidance advance in practicing Anapanasati and walking meditation. We have done a very meritorious karma to listen to a Dhamma talk which speeds up our meditation. We feel you have put us all on a highway. Please explain further how to be mindful at home and office while meditating Anapana regularly. With much merit to you, with the merit you gain by leaving yogis to the correct, with the merit you gain by leading yogis to the correct path, may you attain the supreme bliss of nirvana.
Only the problem is there may be a lot of competition for my mastership. When you are all going to learn everything that I won't get any chance, everyone will be a meditation master. So I have to give something in my grip, not to give everything. So otherwise till I die. And then you can take. Thank you very much for giving, otherwise I am creating my own enemies. So regarding the back at home, sitting meditation is we call the laboratory experimenting within the complete control variables. And then the walking meditation is in agricultural fields, after the lab experiment, we try the same thing in the research ground, near the research center, external research field. And then enough labor, enough fertilizer, enough sunlight, enough water. And then we select few skillful farmers and give selected varieties for them to try and see how much they can earn under the normal country condition. That is like day-to-day activities. And once that is recommended, tested after 3 layers, we recommend this as a national level. So normal farmers going to get the benefit of that. So likewise, walking meditation, sitting meditation is a lab experiment. Walking meditation is a field trial, and day-to-day activities in the meditation center is like farmers, selected research farmers, we give them, and when you go back home, that is the thing most relevant to your question. How do you maintain the mindfulness in day-to-day activities in the center? So try to get as much as possible, and here we ask yogis not to talk and not to take any kind of troublesome tasks. You may do daily chorus while doing how much you can keep mindfulness, or rather I would say in walking meditation you try to feel or try to be mindful on the soles. In the day-to-day activities, you try to be mindful on the soles and the palms. So that's the expansion of the same thing happened when you are back at home. Whenever you touch, they are our tentacles. Whatever maybe we wish to feel, we use the fingertips. So these are the things we are contact points to the external world. Basically, all the epidermis, of course, is sensitive. But these are the nerve ends or meridian ends, and where we touch it. So whenever you touch it, try to be mindful, but don't worry about the whole day, morning to evening. Get some tags, something like brushing your teeth, you in your toilets, washing dishes, a little task, and ultimately you can expand little by little.
Dear Bhante, please let us have the following books. 1. Walking meditation. 2. Anapanasati meditation for the yogis who need it. Thank you, with metta.
I would ask organizer to take the availability in the free distribution books and make sure, otherwise please let me know quickly so we can do some other arrangements possible. If it is not available, please check it for me, please.
Dear Swamin Vahanse, please explain to us Yoniso Manasikara, wise attention. How can one learn to develop this quality with metta?
The Yoniso Manasikara is see the beginning or see the starting point. In Pali or in Sinhala, Yoni means the vagina. This is the starting point. So sometimes it is called as the knowledge also. So whenever you are to see not only the recent object, how it is arising, and object arisen as well as the arising is a vast opening of your brain. So therefore don't worry about the arisen object. Select few of them and try to see as and when it arises, as and when begins. So then you can see the object you have seen together with the as and it is arising, and you have not seen, completely two different things. So therefore Yoniso Manasikara is putting the attention as much as possible to the beginning, and definitely it is leading, or you will get an endowment or gift. You will see the end of the object also. As far as you see the beginning and the middle of the object, the end is a gift. It's a bonus. So your task must be not to worry about the arisen object, that is what we call the worldly life, but whenever possible, at least in few objects, try to see the beginning, and then you will understand anything at the beginning easy to tackle, easy to understand. And whenever it became gathering momentum, and when the speed, very difficult. Even the anger, when it's arising, very easy to diversify. Even the desire, when it's arising, easy to diversify. Even the sleepiness, very easy to diversify. And in the martial arts, before the kick, get the momentum, you have to diversify as and it is arising. So therefore you have to be aware the movement of the other person. That is what the martial arts means. When the kick, get the momentum, can't help. So that is what the meaning of the Yoniso Manasikara in simple English.
Most Venerable Bhante, I am doing meditation for a long time with your instruction. Last 2 years, I got remarkable improvement in my meditation. Last 2 years, my meditation object is rising and falling in the abdomen. I do about 5 to 6 hours of meditation every day. After about a half hour of walking meditation in the early morning, I get Chitta Samadhi, or rest place, in my mind. With that Samadhi, when I go to sitting meditation, soon I seize the object and come to the rest place. Time to time, thoughts are coming to my mind, but soon I will know what hindrance, pancha nivarana, come into the mind, and those thoughts will disappear soon too. Day to day, normal work time, I will go to this rest place too. Most of the time, I am mindful. I have less stress and tension in the mind. I have more achievement in life than expected. Any advice or comments to improve further this situation? I wish you to realize your goals in this very life soon, Bhante, with metta.
To increase or to deepen the sharpness of the faculties, it says Sataccha kiriyaya sampadeti, sappaya kiriyaya sampadeti, sakkaccha kiriyaya sampadeti. That means when and where you find the trend is okay, that means your faculties are there, but you have to sharpen them or season them or master them. So they are sappaya kiriyaya sampadeti. You must understand what are the conducive factors that you can give and improve it according to your own experience and the background. For example, if you see morning hours are more conducive, so you have to fix more hours in the morning hours and then compensate with the other work. Or if you see walking meditation is much conducive before sitting, you must make it invariably to walk before the sitting. And food, sleeping, bathing, association, listening, all these have impact. So with the amount of information you have in your hand, you must understand how to facilitate, how to give conducive condition. And then sataccha kiriyaya sampadeti, do it in a regular way. So when that yogi is reporting having 5 hours a day, I feel envious because even I don't get it. Most of the day I can't find, I know that meditation means mindfulness, not sitting. But even then, I hope this is not written by Sudhu Hamaduru, maybe a layperson. For a layperson, it's a great achievement to have 5 hours. It is, if you add 3 more hours, you will be paid full time, 8 hours a day. So not now you are giving half a day, that not full price. So get into 8 hours, and that is the sataccha kiriyaya. Sakkaccha kiriyaya, do it with full, or we can say both the hands. Don't do with the left hand or right hand. Do it with both the hands. That means with the due respect. Consider the mind and your body as a temple. And accept it is like a shrine room. Keep it always pure. Whenever possible, if you committed any mistake, go and apologize to the other person and say, I'm sorry. Due to that circumstance it happened, if I hurt you, please. Because that keeping and hoarding is such a dangerous. So you must understand you are maintaining a shrine room and work it like a very devoted attendant to your own shrine room. That is called sakkaccha kiriyaya, with due respect. So therefore ultimately you are respecting to your own experience, and then you feel the confidence. It doesn't matter whether you are ordained or non-ordained, you are whether male or female, whether you are Buddhist or non-Buddhist. This is how your past experience is giving a lead or guidance, and more you tighten your belts or tie the screws little by little, and then you see endless refinement you can get it.
Dear Bhante, when I do sitting meditation, in and out breath, mindfully, after about 10 or 15 minutes, I fall asleep, and in this situation, I get up after about 30 minutes. Though I try to meditate in the same way again and again, I fall asleep. I don't think I am mindful. After this, I find the head is too heavy, and the desire is to do the meditation, and I desire to do the meditation again. But I find it difficult to come back to the same position as earlier. Then I go to walking meditation, where even I don't find courage enough to do that too, because of the body conditions. I really need to continue meditation. Please advise with metta.
So if I am to draw the attention to the sitting meditation, just keep on continue. It keep on dosing and again come back, again going, and after a while there's a kind of stark opening, complete vigilance going to happen, because you find you are what is happening is very discouraging. It is disheartening. You feel lost the discharge like, but still you keep on practicing. But after a while, after 2-3 of this kind of a nodding and dosing, in my case, when I was in Burma and even before, I used to sit more than 1 hour, 1.5 hours, usually 1.5 to 2 hours. So within 35 minutes, I start this dozing and nodding. So what I did was keep on continuing. After 45 minutes, like kind of opening happen or break even happen, and then you can predict for another 30 minutes, sleep will not come. Such opening can happen. So therefore, let that sleepy situation to end by itself in sitting meditation. Don't worry. Keep on doing. That is why the Buddha says, Viryavatopana khingnamana sijjati. If you have the courage, what the thing you can't penetrate? Anything you can. Only thing is, regularly and incessant way you have to practice. When practicing, there's an end to this sleepiness. Sometimes it may be, but the way it is presented is difficult to think. Sometimes it is a hiding of the mind, so that when it's open again after the sleepy or slimy situation, it naturally comes back to the object of meditation. But that is not been mentioned here. Therefore, I guess this is something like sloth and torpor or kind of a defilement. Even then, continue with more than in walking meditation, sitting meditation that can happen. I mean, going to nodding, going to the slimy situation, and after a few sessions, there's a kind of opening. Have a hope on that and continue. Sit even more than 1 hour.
Honorable Bhante, when doing Anapanasati meditation, how do we feel past, now, and future Anapana? Please explain with metta.
This has no kind of a authentic commentarial exegesis, but I would say, when and where you see in-breath and out-breath in the gushing air, going out and coming out, that appear like the here and now. And sometimes, whenever you are advancing, before Anapana sets in, before the in-breath sets in, you can see the vigilant mind is waiting for the oncoming in-breath. That which has not given such a rubbing sensation, or your perception is not perceivable, still vigilance is there. It is just arising, so still you wait. It is like be preparedness. For example, if you are a cameraman and waiting the state guest to come in, and you fix the camera in the tripod, and before the guest comes, you have to focus it and wait. So as and when it happens, you never miss anything. Likewise, you can experience the future in-breath. Before coming, you can observe it. And once it is gone, still you never give up your mindfulness. Still you see the tapering end, the disappearing end, the tail end of the in-breath. And if you are vigilant, that you can say, even though earlier you used to say, this is the end, but if you have observed very vigilantly, diligently, closely, still you can see there are some traces to indicate, even if it is not so very perceivable, is slowly disappearing. So in-breath gone, but still you are observing. That we can say as the past form. So when it is rubbing and observing, that's the middle. So the beginning, the middle, the end of any object of meditation can observe with that kind of acquaintance or seasoning of your mindfulness, even before it comes, or even the mind says it is gone, still you can observe. So likewise you can expand, so that is to say, in a bell-shaped curve, the two tail ends, it is less than 5% of the whole phenomena, but that is still you are tracing because your sensitivity is very sharp at that level. Or otherwise we can say you can do it whenever your sensitivity or your mindfulness is established and sharp, otherwise difficult.
Venerable Swamin Vahansa, According to the way I understood your sermon yesterday, first you let go all thoughts of connected people and things. Then, concentrating on here and now, no future or past thoughts, you observe the elements that you come into contact with in the course of meditation. Let them pass by till you come to a stage of not noticing or feeling anything, no sorrow. If I am wrong, please correct me, Bhante. Could you please explain the connection between this and the 8 noble paths and the path leading to the cessation of sorrow? Pardon me if I am deviating. Thero and sadhana.
So instead you can put it in a very positive way. You do consciously renunciate your household. That is why you come here. So now you are here. Moment you are appreciating the here, being here in Nissarana for the moment, you are simply doing away with the household life, not thinking, not only not thinking. By mere appreciation that I renounce, you appreciate your renunciation, now you are in the forest. And after while walking you come and sit, and now you know, I am not confined to go to the here and I am sitting. So as far as you are appreciating it, or try to be wholeheartedly be here and now, simply you are doing away with household friction, and the friction, any effect at all related to the monastery gone. So therefore, not thinking. That is, you have no choice. You can't stop thinking. Stop thinking means too much of thinking. Instead, you fill the mind with something positive, with less frustration, less tension. So instead of, with respect to the household affairs, you appreciate living in the monastery. With respect to the living in the monastery, you still reduce the here and now. You appreciate how much it is worth the very present moment, understanding here now I am sitting. And when you are sitting, if you, for example, if you focus to the air element, the in-breath, out-breath, now you are not even worried about the whole body, you are worried about the one aspect of the elements, that's the air element. Imagine that is also reducing. You can't do away with thinking. That's utter mind game. It's utter magic of the mind. Instead, fill it with something. It must be neutral, it must be verifiable, it must be naturally conspicuous. That is what you call the object of meditation. So this presentation is, you can't accept without remarks. You are always thinking negative. So much so you are not vipassana meditators. You must always think positive. The Buddha is not giving something negative, he is thesis he gives. Then only he disproves antithesis. Otherwise you are reacting. You are negative, you are destructive, you are nihilist, you are hating yourself. So this is not, the hating is happen as far as you are focusing to something positive. And when that is happened, focusing on still little one. And when that is happened, still little one. And ultimately, the concentration, focusing going to take place. This is the art. I think it is very difficult to communicate. You always hold it with the wrong end. When the Buddha says, whenever you hold the poisonous animal, serpent with the wrong end, it bites. Hold it with the neck. That is why I tried to yesterday to explain the sunyata and reduce it by holding something. You do away with something because of holding something. You know what you hold is comparatively less suffering, less frustration. And when you go there, you may find another still one, still less. So this is called Sammaditthi, Noble Eightfold Path. So if you know Sammaditthi, rest will follow. But if you are going to say, no, I am do away with thinking, I am do away with the past and the future, you have no choice. Simply I am telling you have no choice. Only thing is adhere to some positive thing and cling into that. That clinging will leave you aside with the others, and despiting that, cling into the still subtle one in time to come, and despiting that, clinging to the still subtle one again. This is the way it is happening. That is what we call samadhi in the Eighth Noble Path. And once that is straightened, others will follow the suit.
Most Venerable Bhante, I started sitting meditation, focusing, here I am, and in a few seconds I felt my head start to swing back and forth lightly in a rhythmic way, like I'm riding a horse. Occasionally the head moves to the side too, sometimes like spinning. Is this what you refer to as vibration? If I refer to it as vibration, I felt that vibration, and when I focused more, the head started to move faster and stopped. Again, it moves again and stops. I observed this, and I could stop it whenever I wish. I stopped it after a few rounds and tried to concentrate on breathing. I know I should just observe without doing anything intentionally, but for some reason I do not like that swing. Please advise me, with many merits to you.
This indicates the mind is now mindful, it is with the body. You can understand these things because you are wholeheartedly observing it, but this is called swinging, not vibration. Vibrations are still short waves. When you are observing without reacting to this kind of thing, then nothing can except calming down. When it's calming down, you will see the waves are happening, but with a short amplitude or short waves. So ultimately it's coming to the vibration, but luckily the sentence is there in the writing. Some or the other reason I don't like this waving or moving. So that means the hatred. So now you know you hate the reality. You hate the things as they are. That is a great discovery. Whenever the things happen as they are, you hate it. That is why you make artificial world. That's why you look into the past and the future, other people and other places, because whenever it comes here and now, it is reality, it is natural. You don't know why. So if you have any choice, please make your body your best friend. Then you are already in Nibbana. So you don't like it, that is why you beautify it. That's why cosmetics. And you know the cosmetic industry, what a brilliant money-making mint. Because each and everyone wish to be bigger, whiter, brighter, full in shape. And the bloody fellows are telling your shape must what it should be. And if the girl, they were the shanky long legs. Sihiniga punulukuna riyasakayu tisaratana. That is the way they are interpreting you. If you fit into our magazine, you must be like that. And then for that, please use that chemical. You know, everyone hates their one's own figure. That understanding is the what? Not for the sensuous world. Meditators are already often, I would say meditators, vipassana meditators, they are often morning to evening in full of hatred, full of irritation, full of self-criticism, full of fault-finding, so they are bright people. But these are the signs of the knowledge. Otherwise you never seek knowledge. When you are happy and contented, no knowledge is not necessary. So therefore vipassana meditators are very brilliant people, knowledgeable people, but fools. To understand, whenever you see the reality, you hate it. That's why you are always living in the past and the future, other people and other places, and your basic hobby throughout the day is hating here now I am. Whenever it is happening, you can see the heaviness, wavy nature, heat, cold, stiffness and tension. It's nothing meditation. Whenever the body you try to be aware, you see only this. So you see, as far as you are hating the very thing, no progress. But understanding that very hatred is the Dhamma. That hatred, the Buddha says, nibbindati, virajyati, vimuchyati. You feel distasteful and disgustable and relinquished. You feel like relinquishing and bleaching. So it becomes colorless. So this is the biggest Dhamma, the Buddha says, the virago settho Dhammana. If you feel whatever the reality, you have kind of a relinquishment. You don't feel it like, but you don't know why it is. But it's a universal truth. For all the commoners, all the citizen Jones, everyone is hating themselves. So understanding that, you understand each and every person. So this is a very good discovery, but the terminology is wrong. This is not the vibration. To vibration to happen, this must be reduced, this must be calmed down, this must be precipitated more, and then you can see a vibration, but you don't allow it to precipitate, calm down because of that hatred.
Dear Bhante, we do anapanasati and walking meditation according to a timetable, and I know that I can sit at least for 1 hour. This is a great achievement as a novice. Is it necessary to do meditation daily on a regular basis? Please advise how to continue meditation daily to improve what I gained here with metta.
So if you wish to have a full load of tension and frustration, you can do away with meditation. No problem. So if you wish to do away with the frustration and tension, then only the meditation come into being. So meditation is not compulsory. Otherwise, this would have been in the classroom curriculum. Never. It never comes. It is the curriculum is always to create tension, the frustration. Buddha is the only single one-man army. He says, never mind, as far as you are happy with the frustration, the tension and lamentation, sorrow, live in your dream, no problem. If you wish to awake, only meditation necessary. So therefore, don't make it a compulsory. Then you will be the mercenary-like to the world. Only the people, those who know the disadvantage of the tension, will seek the quality and quantity of meditation. Don't let others to prescribe it, unless otherwise you are in a retreat like this.
Dear Bhante, when breath ceases after some time while doing sitting meditation, anapanasati, no thoughts can be seen. In a calm state for more than 1 hour. This is happening for a long time. Thoughts come and mind goes out, but quickly comes back with a jerk, unintentionally, and goes to the primary object, I am here, again. It becomes a calm state. This happens very often. Is it proper to continue without a doubt? Please advise, with metta.
Now, when you are having that kind of mind is just simply go out and with a jerk again come back. So if you are appreciating the return journey, let it happen again and again. Once you become master, you will understand one day you will fall sick, bedridden. Yes, the people will come at the beginning and later you will be abandoned. Under such circumstances, you can see mind is again and again coming back to the object. It never feel loneliness. It only feel aloneness. And at the deathbed, whatever the thing outsiders are doing, this is the last episode. And there also mind come to the primary object. Never go to that world, this world, or the past and the future, because normally you have been accustomed to it. So when you become old age, eyes are not properly giving the clear visions, and the ears are not giving the proper sounds, and the taste, the smell, and the body, everything become disappointed. And in such circumstances, you will be desperately waiting unless otherwise you are meditating. But if you are meditating, you will understand what a lucky situation. No lights, no sounds, no smell, no taste, no bodily movements possible. So mind calm and quiet, collected on the primary object. So all these old age sickness and death be blessings. For example, if we'll say that you are being caught into the police as a murderer and you are being sentenced to death. And before the death sentence, you will put into a dark room for 7 days. You will have a residential meditation retreat. It's everything out that you are in darkness and you can meditate. Otherwise, before the death, they were 1001 times they are dying, expecting the death. But if a meditator, ask your family members to give a death sentence. They will be very happy. Ask them to abandon yourself, give the death sentence, enjoy. Because you know that mind is coming back to the primary object. Otherwise it is bewildered, always going. So therefore this is a kind of a endowment of gift due to your past mistakes, I would say, not the experience. And therefore each and every past mistake is a kind of a positive thing or building block in trying to happen. So don't worry about any mistakes along this meditation endeavorance. The best in your or net result of your meditation is whenever it is disturbed, it just come back to the primary object. In Burma they have a kind of a doll. It's called tumbling Kelly or Pittaindine in Burmese. If you kick it, it jerks here and there and then stands. So that is the mind. Or otherwise, if you light a candle, as far as cross currents are there, it is flickering. When there is no cross current, it is natural to come up. So likewise, mind become natural to come and align with the primary object. That, if possible, teach your children. Teach your near ones, dear ones. Be contented with, as far as cross currents are there, you can't help. But it is nature of the flame. When there are no cross currents, it is the burning upward. So it's a nature of the mind. Don't worry about the cross currents. There's no control. But understand it is up there. This is what the early experience in understanding the nature of the mind or universal truth of the mind.
Dear Venerable Sir, I sit down to meditate and note, here I am. Soon, my mind is directed to breathing in and out. I observe a short in-breath followed by a longer, slower out-breath. I observe my breath calm down. I notice thoughts arising. When I notice them, they subside and my mind returns to my breath. Often, I detect a slight effort on my part to return to the breath. Less often, the return is automatic. Please advise me on how I am to interpret this to understand who am I. And please advise me on how to proceed with my practice. Am I doing the right thing? Much merit to you always. May you be well and happy. May you become an arhat in this life, very life itself.
So whatever the event, even the going out of the going or bewildered and wandering mind, the end of wandering mind is coming back to the primary object. So all the events, if you manage to see the return or end of it, you will see whether it is coming from the wrong place to right place, or it is coming from the another right place to right place. Whatever it may be, the return journey is uniform. So therefore, whenever mind is going to wrong places, it is due to your past karmic forces, or your habits, or your likings and disliking, or your the addictions. So whenever it is coming back, if you know where the soul is, where the oasis, where the pure land, so much so you are in protection. So now you have to say sometimes you have to do it willfully or do it with energy or with effort, but later it may find naturally it is happening. So you have to live a life in such a way so that you have this kind of attitude in your life, not to worry about the mishaps happening, how the recovery process, that's all you have to do. Listen and talk only with respect to that. Don't distract people from their existing place. You have to suffer a lot. And don't do any business or work to distract people, distract yourself. Do anything that is to return back. Live a life in such a way, don't explore other people. Don't create any problems to other people. If it is so, you just go and apologize it and live in a way, non-reactional way. So that return journey, you understand everywhere. But if you are with the full of responsibilities, multitasking and time pressure, you can't monitor this way. Then you are utter slave. So we have to be sometimes, because we have to earn our livelihood. But limit it to your necessity. Don't do that kind of exertion and overtime work just merely for the luxury. Don't do it for the consumerization. Use it for the utility. And then have the other rest of the time to understand the nature of the mind. And usually you understand your mistakes as your personality traits. After a certain time, after certain advancement of the meditation, you understand the Buddha mind within you. And then you find, so far, you recognize as your weaknesses, hobbies, or addictions, or past personality things as something negative. But when you go into the inside, you find the Buddha mind within. So, one Catholic priest mentioned, at the beginning, you as a commoner, come to a meditation center or master, try to understand what does it mean by mindfulness, what does it mean by spiritual experience, what does it mean by concentration. But whenever you become a regular yogi, or so to say professional, your mind becomes naturally with yourself, and here and there you find human mistakes. Mistakes are happening, you recognize, oh, that is indicate I am a human. Mistakes are there. So that is the change. So early part you understand yourself as you, according to your mistakes. But when you advance, you understand the Buddha mind. I also have the glittering, pure mind inside. Why should I recognize myself as mistakes or bad habits? I can recognize myself as human. So then your very identification or your identity itself is undergoing some evolution or metamorphosis or changes. So therefore you never try to express yourself, because it's impossible. Morning you will say something, who am I? Evening it is different. But your effort is there to understand, but never make any solid statement, because it is evolving. So this is a very good account, bookkeeping about the present cross-section, and keep it open, keep it vigilant, keep it diligent. You will see the whole evolution of humanity is within you. From amoeba to the mammals, the whole thing you are undergoing, sometimes within one sitting, sometimes through your meditative practice. So therefore, this is a very good self-understanding start. Please continue without distraction.
Venerable Bhante, in my life and in meditation, I spend so much time in the past with regret. This is more so because I live with the consequences of what I think is results of my actions in the past. This is so overwhelming. Now I see this has improved a lot, but still from time to time I go to the past. More so when I meditate. What can I do to improve this further? Much metta.
No special techniques. If you are, if the momentum is gathering, there should have regret about the past. Then only you can understand the improvement. Otherwise, there is no something to relate it or compare it with, or relativity. So therefore, it is happening in its own accord. More you try to accelerate, you may have more and more regret in future. So don't try to accelerate. That is how. This is the simple reason we have regrets. We never allow the things to happen according to its own nature. Then no regret. We are always accelerating. Due to this acceleration, only the regret happened, and now you wish to have a fast recovery from that. That is also I recognize as acceleration. So therefore, understand the real harmony or balance, the natural unfolding. When that happens, it's an art, it's very aesthetic, and there's a science also. So that is everything happen like be patient. So therefore in Burmese language, those who are patient, always on the way to Nibbana. Those who are accelerating, burning the candle from both the ends, and present moment also, in distraction, in future also, you have to regret because of this acceleration.
Dear Reverend Sir, sitting meditation. Breath disappeared in no time, but mind scattered, inner talking, and inner talking started. I noted them mindfully, and it faded away. Leg had a severe pain. When focusing, it reduced. Mindfulness and concentration were very sharp. Suddenly, I blotted into a darkness. Sensations disappeared at a moment. I was not there, but some signs implied that I was alive. In a little while, I became normal. Several times this happened again and again. The experience was stronger than earlier. Walking meditation. In walking, I noted the left and the right. After about 40 minutes, eyelids were heavy and the walking path blurred. I felt only touching on the floor. In the space in between placing, lifting, and placing, I experienced solitude with every movement. I feel no tension, even in day-to-day activities, with metta.
So this is a transitional period. The earlier count is very good in sitting. So you can see some the breath ceases, but the thoughts, sometimes the pain. So that means that your sensitivity increase or signals are amplified. So if you are in future projection in a wrong way, you may think it will everlasting. No. This transition period, after a while you will see that breath ceases, and later you see that thoughts also ceases to exist, and the pain also ceases to exist, and again they arise by itself and ceases by itself. So likewise, when you go prepared, just like preparedness for the cessation of breath, be prepared for the others also. That means you are not fooling them, not giving fertilizer, they ceases to exist. So ultimately that very equilibrium, partly you can get in walking meditation also, even though you are actively involved and eyes are open and voluntarily muscles are working, but even then you find a kind of a stability. And in the day-to-day also, you can see, sometimes you are overexerting, but most of the time the energy balance, what is gain and what is losing, in a balance. So it is like the song, it's like a music, the balance going to happen. But often, many people start with sitting, but some people of course start with the day-to-day activities also. So therefore don't disturb this trend, give you maximum facilities to not to disturb it, but the progress is beyond your control. It is assured as far as you are not disturbing it.
Reverend Sir, almost as soon as I get into a good posture and starts to watch the breath, my head drops, and with it the awareness goes away. From time to time, mindfulness sets in, and I manage to straighten the head. But this is short-lived. Sometimes the body bends from the hips, and it becomes heavy. Then awareness sets in, and I straighten up again. This happens again and again the whole time. It has become a big hindrance to my meditation. Please advise, with metta.
So this is also not so bad, but only thing is be prepared. Whenever the meditation gather the momentum, your body becomes slack and collapse can happen. But anyway, it is not necessarily to be continued ever. So first and foremost, you try to establish the mindfulness, and there are some early signs. Now it is aligned with the primary object. This as this is itself is an indication now you are about to collapse. So you can be prepared. You can see early signs because of the mindfulness. So not only you be mindful, you expect that kind of mishaps or collapsing of the body. And if you go prepared, complete different situation, not in overnight, and little by little, by understanding the early signs and be prepared or preparedness, you know how to get awakened into these dark spots or blind spots in your meditation. That is kind of understanding the subconscious, awakening into subconscious. So there are the conscious area must be fully under control. Under such circumstances only, you can have a little bit of predictability towards the subconscious. So it's a very good, very interesting area in the meditation. Keep walking meditation 50-50, and if necessary, note, so to say, when the slimy and congealing situation happens, note it as sleepiness. Or vigorously note your primary object. Definitely your concentration will be disturbed, but the mindfulness and the energy will be somewhat in a balance. So do your all ways and means, everything come under the noble quest. You have to find a way out, not in a rush. You have to be the simple techniques like go prepared.
Dear Bhante, this morning, both in sitting and walking meditation, I started with focusing on my posture and then moved to the primary object. Frequently, my mind wanders off to thoughts. Thoughts are mostly future planning, and the mind easily dwells on them with excitement. When I notice, usually after many seconds, I try to bring the mind back to the primary object. I try to observe the return journey, but it's not very clear to note details. At the end, though, I feel happy for the effort and feel progress. How can I sharpen my noting of the primary object in thoughts? With metta.
That you have started to study or learn the return journey, it's a very good start, even though it is not going to give good results. You know it. So therefore, let thoughts happen, let wandering happen. And the mind sometimes naturally will come back to the primary object. Sometimes you have to initiate it. Soon you initiate it, will come back to the primary object. Thin slice the time on the way back journey, and slowly you will understand. Later you may wish, may I mind go outwardly, may I mind become unmindful, may I mind wander, because you wanted to see the return journey. Return journey cannot experience without wandering mind. It's a raw material for your experiment. So therefore, once you go prepared, the wandering mind is, it's a, in Sinhala I call huratale, it's not a mistake, or cute. Mind is, so you can see, it's jumping back, and on the way back it is happening. And so therefore all your mishaps and disappointments and everything appear, something to be glad. Something, the frills and thrills, each and every time it is coming back, you are ready to observe. Because that you have already taken some initial steps. Please promote it.
Okay, there's some Sinhala here. I can't quite make it out. Sila Pavana, Sila Evana,
Sila Bhavana.
Paravasa.
No, it is wrong. Sila Bhavana, Silabbata Paramasa.
Okay. This phrase is confronting to practice meditation. Please explain the meaning of the phrase with metta.
So now I am teaching you Sinhala. Please repeat this.
No, I didn't catch it.
Silabbata Paramasa.
That's not. This is much shorter than what you said. This is Sila Pavana Paravasa. Paravasa.
Sujit, very difficult when the white fellows are learning Sinhala. It's a hell. Silabbata Parama, they are writing in the Silabbata Parama. So you may read the balance in English.
This phrase is confronting to practice meditation. Please explain the meaning of the phrase with metta.
Sila means that the moral restrainment, or we can say sila means the culture, the gentleship, or gentlemanship, or culturing. And sila vrutta means that you not beyond the human culture, you try to restrain it in a ardent way. Sometimes you behave like a dog. You never sleep on something, you just curl and sit on the ground. And wherever you go, you are like that. Or sometimes you never use a plate, you put the food on the ground and eat like a dog. That kind of vrutta. So ascetic practices are there. Many think they are doing out of their self-curse or self-torturing, but they think by doing that they can cut off their bad karma. That is sadistic and sadistic or masochist kind of a mentality. And the Buddha says, I recommend sila, but I never recommend sila vrutta. Sila vrutta means that kind of a little beyond the normal norms. And if you paramasa, you grab hold, letting in a way that you can't let it out. So that means you consider your practice is like torturing yourself. So in Sri Lanka, it's very obvious when the people are going for observing precepts. They are doing so much of rites and rituals, is completely distorting their mindfulness. Even the observer's mindfulness is disturbed. But still they are happy to say we are protecting sila or we are restrained by sila. But they don't know the sila, what the Buddha prescribed is always conducive for the unperturbed mind or concentrated mind. So sila must be bringing back the mind to the center, not wavering like a seashore. So, but if you otherwise, you consider self-torturing as kind of a supreme practice. The Buddha to be, as I say, Siddhartha Gautama, also practiced 6 years. Because during that time, India, they consider this as a very shortcut to the Nibbana, or accelerated way to Nibbana, but later, after the enlightenment, the Buddha refused it and refute. And so, don't hold, take sila, which is conducive for the concentration. That is called sila. Sila. Whatever not conducive, so conducive for samadhi, we'll say mindfulness, and still if you are adhering to that, due to your stereotype thinking, that is called silabbata paramasa. Very difficult. Each and every one of us have that kind of habits or traits. We can't get it out. We have to do away with, unless otherwise you mindful and get the mindfulness undisturbed. After a long time only you will understand your misinterpretation of sila. That's called silabbata paramasa. That stop in an irrevertible way whenever you are enter into the first maggapala, extreme enterer, then silabbata paramasa will drop. Till that we are making jokes to the world by doing meditation. Meditators are kind of national jokers. And outsiders also usually consider this as our family members are considering we are mad. We are jokers. And top of that, some people are made double mad by trying to be very strict in sila. And some are very slack. So you have to understand the middle part. So each and everyone of us has to understand, we are still to understand the middle part. So therefore don't hate it, but depend on the mindfulness. One day mindfulness is reflect you, these are not necessary. What are necessary is conducive for the mindfulness and the concentration.
We're finished.
Yeah. So almost little more than 1 hour. So if there are no any statement, there's a question behind. You can come, please. This is better.
While we're on the subject of the middle path and taking Shila a step too far, is the same possible with samadhi? like over concentration or exerting yourself too much?
I didn't get you the first two sentences.
So we're talking about, there was that similar expression.
Silabata, it's a Pali term. Silabata paramas.
Oh, okay. So if we take our sila too far, ascetic practices, and torture ourselves, masochistic practice,
Yeah.
is the same possible with samadhi? Is it possible to concentrate too much?
No, you can't say it is a concentration too much. You can say concentration is sick. It is imbalance. So therefore it is not healthy concentration. There may be some kind of a self-assertion, and I am a very good practitioner, so like you can put up and go. But it is not the healthy concentration. It's a self-delusion.
You mean concentrating on the wrong thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Healthy, unhealthy.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Okay, that is the end of our question and answer session. We have almost 50 minutes for walking meditation. Thank you very much for the participation.